This meeting of the Essex County Board of Chosen Freeholders is hereby called to order. Madam Clerk, can you please call roll?
Yes. Freeholder Bobadilla. Absent. Freeholder Vice President Gill.
Here.
Freeholder Johnson. Absent. Freeholder Jones. Absent. Freeholder Luciano. Absent. Freeholder Richardson.
Here.
Freeholder Sebo.
Here.
Freeholder Toro. Freeholder President Timberlake.
Here. Thank you. Please stand to salute our flag, and I'm going to ask if Freeholder Toro will please lead us in the salute. And please remain standing for a moment of silence, and in particular, please let's remember the victims of recent hurricanes and natural disasters. Thank you. I have before me a certification from the clerk that this meeting is indeed in compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act. At this point in time, I'm going to ask if Freeholder Cynthia Toro, who represents the Great District 5, which includes Montclair Township, of course, to please bring greetings as well as acknowledge any elected officials who are here tonight and invite them to come up for a few remarks.
Good evening. Freeholder Cynthia Toro. I represent the 5th District, which includes this great community of Township of Montclair. And often we say, Montclair is lucky because we have 2 freeholders on this board that represent this community, with Vice President Brendan Gill, who's a resident and who grew up in Montclair, and myself. Throughout the year, we go to different chambers throughout Essex County to allow our constituents to have the opportunity, a closer commute, to express their concerns. And I want to thank the Mayor, Jackson, and the Council for, providing the space for that reason. Montclair is a true gem in Essex County. It is recognized beyond the county and the state for its vibrant community. And before passing the microphone, the opportunity for our local officials to welcome us, I'd like to briefly just say that as I approach the ending of my tenure, it has been a real, true distinction and honor to serve this community and to work in collaboration with the local elected and amazing local elected officials. Before allowing, the mayor and council to speak, Vice President Gill, would you like to say a few remarks?
Thank you, Freeholder Toro, and thank you for that kind introduction. I know that it's been a pleasure to serve with you, and your term's not done yet, so I know you have some work left to do for sure. And we've been lucky, not only here in the county, but here in Montclair, to have Freeholder Toro working on behalf of all of our constituents. I would just say again that it's great, and I want to congratulate and thank Freeholder Timberlake for continuing this tradition of moving the freeholder boards throughout the county and giving people an opportunity to come, or I guess for us to bring county government to you. So that's something that I think all of us here on the board are proud of. We're always proud to be able to be in Montclair. I have obviously a special place in my heart for this community. It helped raise me and by and large is responsible for this opportunity to serve on the Essex County Freeholder Board. I think we're going to hear from them. I just also wanted to acknowledge two in particular two council folks, Freeholder Toro, or 3 who are. Well, we can't forget the 3rd. Yes, he just came in. I better not forget him.
Then it's 4.
He will. I know we are having the honor to work with Mayor Jackson here at the county, as serving as our county administrator. But in addition, during my time on the board, it's been a pleasure to work with Dr. Renee Baskerville, who I see in the audience, and I want to give her a special shout out for all the work that we have done together. I want to give a shout out to our second ward councilman, Robin Schlager, for all the work that we have been able to do together here in Montclair. Also, I want to give a shout out to our counselor at large, Bob Russo, who I think, again, is a person who needs no introduction here in Montclair, but it's been a pleasure to be able to work with him as well. So thank you, thank all of you, and to the members of the community who are still here. Earlier, we were able to recognize, and I just wanted to, sorry you gave me the mic, so I'm going to go. We had a opportunity to recognize, and I just wanted to reiterate the Montclair Grassroots program, which is a 50-year, for their 50th anniversary. And they are a tremendous asset in this here in Montclair for a summer camp program that helps serve our youth. And it was quite a thing to see their entire board and all of the supporters of the Montclair Grassroots program be able to be here with us tonight. So thank you, Freeholder Toro, for that opportunity. Thank you, Madam President, for the opportunity, and thank you for everyone who took the time to be here this evening.
Would anyone from the council would like to come up?
Yes, good evening and welcome to Montclair. Freeholder President Timberlake, Freeholder Vice President Gill, and members of the Board of Chosen Freeholders, a hearty welcome to you tonight. I am Deputy Mayor Robin Schlager, and on behalf of Mayor Robert Jackson and my fellow council colleagues who are here, Dr. Renee Baskerville, Bob Russo, and our acting township manager Tim Stafford is here, we welcome you to our council chambers. I'd like to take this opportunity publicly, which I've never have had before, to thank you all for your efforts and commitments, particularly to our county and to our town of Montclair. I have on several occasions reached out to some of you with issues and concerns from some of my constituents, and you've all always responded and helped me in a most timely manner, and I thank you for that. We hope that you will, during this lovely fall season, take time to visit Montclair. We now have 2 farmers markets, one on Saturdays on Walnut Street, one in Crane Park on Sundays. And we have great restaurants. Our art museum is going to be welcoming a new exhibit this weekend featuring one of Montclair Own's artists, Philomena Williamson. So I hope that you get to come and see some of her work. It's pretty terrific. So welcome again and have a great meeting. And we always enjoy working together, and we hope to see you again soon. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Councilwoman Schlager. Okay. Councilwoman Baskerville?
Good evening and greetings, Madam President, Vice President Gill, to the entire board. It's always such an honor to have you here in our township of Montclair, and it gives us an opportunity to come and just to thank you all so much for your hard work, your diligence, and to make sure that you understand how much it means to us in our township when we send a text or an email or a phone message. Your response time is just awesome. You guys exemplify governance at its best. I've had the opportunity to work with many of you on traffic calming matters. Most recently, the county and Montclair partnered and did an outstanding traffic calming bump out, which I know the county does not like to do, at the corners of High, Irving, and Orange Road in Montclair, and already it's made a huge difference. That's an intersection where children going to our Nishwain Elementary School cross, children that are going to Nishwain Park or to swim in the pool frequent that location. So we'd like to thank you so much for stepping beyond that which is often comfortable, because I know that that's a hard choice to make, and the bump outs are not very popular. But I wanted to personally just take my time to thank you for that and let you know how much I do appreciate all that you do. If there are things that we can do to support you here in Montclair, reach out, and just like you have been just a phone call away or a text for us, I too am offering the same for you. So thank you so very much.
Thank you, Councilwoman. And you all have been also a pleasure to work with, and the same response time is definitely appreciated from our end as well.
Just a quick word, since my colleagues spoke. They're all great people to work with, and it's great to work with Brittany and Brendan, of course, and I've known Pat Seabold for many, many years when we both worked with Peter Shapiro, who was county executive at the time, when I did run for Freeholder and really won. And I want to just wish Cynthia good luck in your future endeavors, and say to Libby also, I see that the contract in Newark, NTU, was just, resolved, and that the state has now given Newark's schools back to Newark where they belong, which is where I started. Just so you know, I started teaching 4th grade in Newark, 1968. Then I started running for Freeholder after that. But I really wish you all good luck. I hope someday to sit with you at some point, and I want you to be welcome to come back to Montclair at any time and work with us. This will be my last term as a council member of Montclair, but I've served almost 18 years, and I really do understand the good work that you all do, and Brendan especially as my friend and colleague. Thank you for representing Montclair so well all these years. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Russo. Okay. Are there any ordinances or resolutions for introduction and first reading? Okay. No? How about listing purposes only? All right. I'm gonna go next.
Ordinance for introduction and first reading, Madam President, there are none.
And also, second reading and public hearing.
Madam President, there are none.
Okay, we're gonna open up public comment session. If there's any member of the public wishing to comment on any issue at all, please come forward, state your name and affiliation for the record, and you will have 3 minutes to speak. And also, for the record, we're gonna be moving up resolutions 31 and 32 to the beginning of the meeting. Any members of the public wishing to speak on any issue at all? But how about on agenda items only? Okay. Hearing none, we are going to close public comment section. Since there are no ordinances or resolution on introduction and first reading, nor on second reading and public hearing for listing only, nor on second reading and public hearing, period, we're going to move up resolutions 31 and resolutions 32. Madam Clerk, can you please read?
Resolutions, Madam President, would you like me to read them one at a time?
Yes, please.
Resolution 31, resolution condemning President Trump's termination of the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals DACA program, sponsored by Freeholder Gill, Toro, and Siebel.
Okay, Freeholder Gill.
Thank you, Madam President. Caught me off guard.
I figured it was fitting.
Thank you. This, Madam President, is somewhat self-explanatory in the name of the resolution. It's a resolution which speaks out against the President's announcement to terminate the DACA program, which would affect many of the Dreamers who live in this state, and particularly in our county. Again, this is somewhat outside of the normal course of business for county government, but I think an issue that affects just too many people in Essex for this board to be silent on. I would hope that if possible, and with the support of all of my colleagues, that we could potentially pass this through acclamation. But I think we as a county need to send a strong message to our president that the people, and the young people in particular, who would be affected by the elimination of this program. Many of them who have been here in this country for many years, educated in our county, and are productive members of our county, our state, and our nation. And that this is just flat out wrong. And I think as long as I have an opportunity to have a public office and an ability to speak out against things that are just egregiously wrong, I plan on doing it. So I submitted this resolution for consideration to the board. Thank you, Freeholder Toro and Freeholder Siebold, for signing on, and I'm hoping that we could all support this this evening.
I certainly support it. Freeholders, do we have by acclamation?
Yes.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you, Vice President. Madam Clerk, we're gonna call roll. We'll do 31 and 32 together. Did you
Okay.
already read 32?
No, Madam President.
Okay, please read.
Resolution 32, resolution supporting the impeachment of Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America, sponsored by Freeholders Timberlake and Seabold.
Okay, so, this freeholder body, as you know, we're county elected officials, and our reach only goes but so far. But we do have a platform that was given to us as elected officials, and we also have something called a resolution in which we can pass, voicing our opinions as well as our concerns. Since January, there have been a number of resolutions denouncing actions that President Donald J. Trump has taken in the direction in which he is moving in our country. And after watching for now a total of about 9 months, I felt it fitting to sponsor legislation, not legislation, but a resolution in support of our congressional members beginning the investigations for an impeachment. Now, why? That seems very drastic. Well, racism in our country has been almost as if it's America's Achilles heel, or like a sore that will not heal over. And the person who is at the helm of our country must denounce racism and not water down its effects on our society. By pardoning known racist law enforcement officers, by appointing known racist officials to their administration, such as Jeff Sessions, by doing things against the Muslim population and creating a deep fear in some Americans, or trying to incite a fear that should not exist against our Muslim brothers and sisters, by creating a ban on on people traveling from Muslim countries, and then also further what Vice President Brendan Gill was just talking about regarding DACA, which was a policy initiative that provided, work permits and a two-year renewal period of deferred action from deportation for children of undocumented immigrants. Immigration is something in which this country was founded upon, and it wouldn't be where it's at without immigrants. But then again, unfortunately, circling back to racism, racism had also played a role in that with the slave trade. And we as American people have got to stand up and denounce hatred when we see it, and call a spade, and exactly what is happening. We should be bold in our proclamation, declaring that we will take a stand against it and not tolerate it. It's important that we not go back. America is great. There was nothing to be made great again. This is not, to be clear, this is not a Republican versus Democrat thing at all. I'll take a great Republican president any day over someone who's promoting racism and hatred, who has been seen to try and silence the press. The list goes on and on, who has denied that climate change is a real issue, and which puts our entire world in danger. So I thought it fitting, and as you did, Vice President Gill, I hope that this is something that goes by acclamation. The Congressional Black Congress is supposed to be meeting today. They've already met to discuss potential impeachment, as well as other congressional leaders, such as we millennials affectionately call her Auntie Maxine, and that's Congresswoman Maxine Waters, Congressman Brad Sherman, Al Green, Pramelia Japal, and Danny K. Davis, just to name a few of the congressional leaders that are stepping forward. And this will be going to our delegation here in the entire state of New Jersey. And I have had conversations with Congressman Donald Payne, who, as you know, is he's not a person who will back down when it comes to standing up for what's right. And I think there were also even questions regarding the president's involvement in international affairs to the point of, or in regard to Russia and things along those lines. So with that said, I hope that this is a unanimous passing, and for both of them. So I'm going to call a vote, unless freeholders have any comments that you'd like to make for 3132. Freeholder Pat Seabolt.
Thank you very much. I'll make a quick comment. I was brought up in a home where it was always considered right to stand up for what you believe in. And for the same reason, I think the freeholders as a group should stand up for what we believe in this country. And I'm talking about both resolutions. The bottom line is this: we must not remain silent. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Freeholder Seabolt. Freeholder Toro?
Yeah, I'd just like to take this opportunity to talk about the repeal of DACA. The average age of the children that were brought in under this legislation, well, actually executive order, is 6 years old. They know no other country. This is their home. Dreamers are our neighbors, our coworkers, our friends, and they're hardworking New Jersey residents as well. 91% of them are employed, and 99% of them do not have a criminal record. Not to mention, just how doing so, deporting them alone is $8 billion is a cost that comes with it. And the economy would just destabilize it tremendously as well, as they contribute $60 billion in taxes annually throughout the country, and $66 million here in New Jersey. So where is this money going to come from? I could take a guess that it's not going to be the 1%. It's going to, pick up the tab. So none of it makes sense to me, and I just want to say that, there's been a lot of suffering in the Hispanic community and beyond with the Dreamers since he announced his intentions. And, I think enough is enough with our Commander-in-Chief leading only through pain and suffering and hate and division. And I unequivocally condemn the DACA repeal and also fully support Resolution 32 for his impeachment.
Freeholders? No? Okay. Was that a hand? Okay. You're trying to trick me. All right. Well, thank you so much for the support. It will pass both by acclamation. There aren't good people on both sides when anybody is marching with neo-Nazis that are against Jewish people and KKK white supremacists who are against people of color. And we should not have a commander-in-chief who thinks that, because that's dangerous for this country. Madam Clerk, can you please call roll? I'll move it. You want to?
I'll second.
Repeat?
Okay. Please, it's okay.
Vice President. Call roll.
Okay. Freeholder Bobadilla, absent. Freeholder Vice President Gill.
Yes.
Freeholder Johnson, absent. Freeholder Jones, absent. Freeholder. Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at my sheet earlier.
Recognizing
I
Freeholder Levy
apologize.
Jones present with us.
You live in color. Freeholder Jones. Freeholder Luciano, absent. Freeholder Richardson.
Yes.
Freeholder Siebel.
Yes.
Freeholder Toro.
Yes.
Freeholder President Timberlake.
Yes.
So moved.
Thank you. Okay, now we're going to move to regular order. and go to resolutions 1 and 2. Madam Clerk, I'm going to ask that you read the resolutions, each one into record at a later time.
Okay.
And Mr. Coltrane, are you the presenter today?
Yes, I am taking over for Mayor Jackson, who has another appointment in the great city of Montclair. The Office of the County Executive Resolution ceremoniously named...
Mr. Coltrane, can you move the mic closer to you?
Sure, be glad. Number 1 is a resolution ceremoniously naming Franklin Avenue in Nutley and Belleville as Alfred O. Lembo Jr. Boulevard in honor of... It says green. Ah, there it is. Let's start again, Madam President. Office of the County Executive Resolution ceremoniously naming Franklin Avenue in Nutley and Belleville as Alfred O. Lembo Jr. Boulevard in honor of Alfred O. Lembo Jr., Grand Marshal of the 2017 Belleville-Nutley Columbus Day Parade. Mr. Lembo has successfully owned a business throughout Essex County in truck repair, collision, carting, and excavation. He has a long resume of charitable work with St. Lucy's and the Columbians, Mario Alonzo Society of New York, and former president of the New Jersey State Opera. He has been selected as Grand Marshal of the Belleville-Nutley Parade on October 8, 2017. Number 2, Office of the County Administrator designating ADA Section 504 Coordinator Timothy Walker. Title II Regulations of American with Disabilities Act require designation of at least one employee to coordinate its effort to comply and carry out the respectful regulations of the act. Mr. Walker is replacing Ike Jenkins, who has left, and we also have another designee, Brian Corley, from the Human Resource Office, who has been previously appointed. Mr. Walker is here.
Good evening, freeholders.
Good evening. Can you please tell us more?
Sure. When I was brought up on with the county 3 months ago, I was asked to be prepared to be designated as the ADA coordinator. It's a very important role for the county. The county takes it very seriously, and we are setting our agenda now to go out and visit all 46 sites, make sure that they are ADA compliant, and to respond to any complaints that come from the public or employees.
Okay, thank you. Freeholders? Mr. Polavecchio?
No comments.
Mr. McInerney?
No comment, Madam President.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And freeholders, it's questions for 1 or 2. All right. Please listen for action later this evening. Resolution number 3 has been withdrawn by the administration. We're going to move to resolution number 4. Madam Clerk, again, please read all into the record at a later time. Mr. Colcher?
Yes, the Department of Corrections awarded to Pathway Communications Group, LLC, to provide emailing archive service, exercising a 2-year contract extension on the original resolution. It's an open-end as needed. The mailbox cost $4.98 per mailbox. Previous contract was for 2 years, and they spent $48,000, and this resolution is for $48,000 also.
Thank you. Recognizing freeholder Len Luciano, now present with us. Mr. Polavecchio, any questions or comments on 4?
No, I'm sorry, I lost my one with all my notes on it. No comments on this one.
Okay. Mr. McInerney?
No comments, Madam
It's very straightforward. Freeholders?
Just a quick question, Madam President.
Freeholder Vice President Gill.
Thank you. This is archiving for employees.
Yes, similar to, let's say, in the freeholder's office, someone
Okay.
receives a voicemail or on that particular phone, it will be
Right.
archiving that.
Okay. Unrelated through you, Madam President, question. I know there's been a lot of discussion around technology and technology improvements across our different departments. Is this a kind of a stopgap measure while that's going on, or is this something that you think will be continuing?
Through you, Madam President, I do have Carl Hunt, our Chief Information Officer here. He may be able to answer that question.
Carl Hunt, Assistant Administrator. This is for the Correction Center. This has been used by them for the last 5-6 years, and this is just keeping our records of both emails and calls that come into the jail today.
Understood.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
Freeholders? Okay, hearing none. Please list it for action later this evening. Please move to resolutions 5 and 6. Mr. Coulter?
Thank you, Madam President. 2017 county budget insertion of items of revenue from the state of New Jersey, Department of Labor, Workforce Development, needs to base work support allocation, Department of Economic Development, Training, and Employment. It is for $350,000, and Julius Mumford is here for this.
Okay, Mr. Mumford?
Mr. Mumford will also be answering 5, 6, 8, 9, and 10, Madam President.
Good evening, Madam President and freeholders. The $350,000 come from the Department of Labor. We use these funds for the Job Access Reverse Commute. It requires a matching fund, and this is a portion of the revenue, portion of the finances that we use, along with some finances that you guys have awarded to us as a freeholder board from the budget office. This runs along Route 10, Fairfield, and the Newark Night Owl program. We essentially have been doing a great program. The program had originally started with the federal government, but now the federal government has passed that responsibility over to the state. So now it's a state-required match, and this is a portion of the funds that our Work First New Jersey, which is TANF clients, food stamp, and GA clients who participate in the program. This allows us to help keep running the program.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. I'll stay here.
And thank you for your work all the time, Ms.
Thank you.
Julius. So, Mr. Coulter, do you want to just go through them and then?
Yes.
Go for it. And then
Number
Mr.
6,
McInerney.
2017 county budget insertion of items of revenue from the City of Newark, Essex County Job Access and Reverse Commute Jack Program, Department of Economic Development, Training and Employment, $50,000. Julius Mumford is here to explain.
Exact same thing, just a different allocation of where the funds are coming from the state. One pot comes from the TANF funds, the other pot comes from food stamp GA. It's the same exact pot of money.
Okay.
Madam President, we're going to number 8, Department of Economic Development, Training and Employment, Division of Training and Employment, contract with 10 Welfare to Work Services to provide educational and vocational activities for Essex County recipients. The contract runs from September 5th, 2017 to June 30th, 2018. Amount not to exceed $1,526,500. Julius Mumford is here to explain.
Okay, so we're going to skip 7 because we know that's, we have some others who are here to
Yes.
talk regarding that. Okay.
Item number 7 is in regards to our workforce.
No, item number 8.
Oh, I got so many. I'm
That's
sorry.
okay.
Item number 8 is in regards to our Welfare to Work program. These funds are contracted vendors who, April 18, 2017, we released our RFP. We had a bidders conference on April 27, 2017, and the submissions were submitted on May 24th, 2017. At that time, we received 14 submissions, various programs, education, job search, vocational training. We accepted 10 of those submissions where the average score was between 88.5 and 63.5. We denied 4 submissions because of low score, being outside of the county, or the program was either not in demand. In order to review these, we had 38 members of our staff in 4 different areas who reviewed and scored these proposals. We will be going forward. I have some vendors here tonight who we have awarded if you want to hear from them. This is our 2017-2018 Welfare to Work contracts for TANF recipients and food stamp SNAP GA clients.
Okay.
Would you like to hear from them?
Yes, I would.
I know I have tonight Essex County College, programs for parents. I see Mikasa, I see JBS. So I see also Workforce Advantage, so I'm going to start with ECC.
Everyone can come up in the order.
You can all just come up and just take place.
Good evening, Madam President and all the members of the board. I'm here representing Essex County College. Mitra Chaudhary, Director Training, Inc. I'm part of the Community Continuing Education and Workforce Development Department of Essex County College. And we have worked in partnership with the county for many, many years and provided vocational training. This year, we applied to train people in the allied health areas, certified nurse assistants, patient care techs, and certified clinical medical assistant. We also added supply chain management to our training because we understand that in this area, in Essex County, there has been a number of companies that have moved in, like HelloFresh, Blue Apron, Amazon, and there is a great demand for supply chain. Essex has a credit course now approved by the state, and we can link our clients that go through the vocational training programs to the credit courses. So we are looking forward to serving our clients and providing the best services. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you so much for what you do. We're going to go through everybody and then take questions. Thank you so much.
Good evening, Beverly Lynn, CEO of Programs for Parents. Programs for Parents received the opportunity to participate in this initiative. We are providing Child Development Associate training, and this is a credential for individuals who are interested in working in the early childhood field. Basically, that's it. Okay.
Thank you so much for your work.
Good evening, freeholders. My name is Aníbal Alvelo, and I represent La Casa de Don Pedro. And we have been contracted to do low literacy, ABE, and GED. And for our fiscal year contract that in 2017, we had 69% of low literacy completion, 61% progress, 39% placement. ABE, we had 70% successful completion, progress 70%, and 30% placement. And also with our last contract, which is GED, we have 56% successful completion, 86 progress, and 14%.
Sorry, sir. Can
Yes.
you break out those acronyms for us? I know in our nonprofit world.
Oh, adult basic education.
Thank you.
All right, and our GED program. Okay, and that's what we have.
Okay, go ahead, please. I didn't mean to interrupt that.
No, it's okay. And the overall total, we had 171 enrollments, 67% completion, 71% progress, and 29% placement.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello, I'm Lynn Sternstein from Jewish Vocational Service. I'm the Director of Education and Literacy, and we've been awarded the contract for adult basic education under the Welfare to Work grant, serving both TANF and SNAP clients for reading, writing, and math remedial education, as well as CWEP, the Community Work Experience Program, the opportunity to get work experience in our offices.
Thank you.
Good evening, freeholders. My name is Julio Sabater. I'm from Workforce Advantage. We're very honored to have been servicing the Hudson County community for over 6 years. We are a firm that we service close to 4 different counties in the state of New Jersey, and we've been around since the 1980s, servicing these populations. since the inception of Welfare to Work. I've also been personally involved at the state level with the State Employment and Training Commission and the Committee for Literacy. So I've been honored to serve not only in the service delivery area, but also in the policy-making area, which gives us, I think, an advantage as to know what is coming ahead in the pipelines. We were awarded the Basic Education Program and the ESL program, which, by the way, is my personal passion. English is a second language, since English is my second language. And we were last fiscal year, we were also had the opportunity to service a lot of refugees from Haiti, and that spoke no English whatsoever. So it was quite a challenge in communicating with them and being able to bring them up to a functioning level where they can move on. We look forward to a very successful year, and I want to thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Good evening, freeholders. I'm new at this, so bear with me. My name is Delano Hill, and I'm here representing Luigi Monaco, and I'm the administrating counselor for the North Jersey Career Academy, and we've been granted the job search program, and I'm a representative of that. I was in the program, and it works, and it helped me get the job. So he just wanted me to speak on his behalf, and he wasn't able to attend today, so I'm here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And for saying that you don't do very well at this, you did great.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for all of those nonprofits that came to speak. Nonprofit sector is indeed an extension of government, and you're reaching areas in which the government bodies cannot possibly reach in totality. So thank you for that, and I know how underappreciated sometimes you feel in the work, and that the demand is certainly greater sometimes than what we can produce, and I say we because that's my career of choice, is the nonprofit sector. So I just have a great amount of respect for what you all do in the community. Freeholders? Freeholder Toro?
I'd just like to say thank to Julius for allowing the opportunity for all these nonprofits to come here before us and present, because it's good to put a face to the names of the organizations. And also, I'd like to thank all the organizations for all the work you do. It's really important work, but most importantly, for you to know that in usually our committee meetings, we press hard on the rates, the success rate for placement, and I heard in your introduction, Julius, you said that that's what you looked at in your review. So please know that that is important to me and to my colleagues, that the individuals that you serve can take those credentials and find full-time employment in an area that they can pay their bills, basically. Thank you.
Freeholder Seabold?
Hi. I'd like to commend you for all the hard work and the excellent work that you do ever since you joined us here in Essex County. Thank you.
Thank you.
Julius, you are wonderful.
Thank you.
We do appreciate you.
Thank you.
Freeholders? All right. Okay, Mr. Coltrane?
Thank you, Madam President. Department number 9, the Department of Economic Development, Training and Employment, Division of Training and Employment, contract with 2 Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act service providers to provide adult basic education service for Essex County recipients. Contract will run between September 5th, 2017 to June 30th, 2018, not in the amount not to exceed $144,000. And Julius Mumford is here to explain.
Good evening.
Mr. Wonderful himself.
The These contracts here, basically, in 2014, President Obama signed one. It's called the Workforce Innovative Opportunity Act. This is training funds that provides opportunities for individuals who does not receive TANF, does not receive food stamp or a food stamp or general assistance from the county. These are individuals who are what we consider Title II adults, or individuals who has been displaced from their job and they're looking to start a new career. We have training funds available from the New Jersey Department of Labor. We released our RFP on May 30th, 2017. We held the bidders conference on June 14th, 2017, and we submitted our final proposals on June 28th, 2017. We received 7 submissions. We accepted 2 submissions. Average score was between 73% and 72.6. We denied 5 of the 7. One, either they submitted under the wrong activity, which did not comply, or they had no experience in the program and they were not approved by the state New Jersey Department of Labor Training and Providing Services. There were 8 reviewers for this area. I do have those vendors here tonight, and one is Coach on Call. And all my WeOver vendors who are here, you each can come and discuss with the freeholders about your program.
Please come forward.
Good evening, freeholders.
Good evening.
I'm honored to be here tonight, and I am also very grateful to have the opportunity to be considered and nominated to receive the 2017-2018 Job Readiness Contract. It's an 8-month contract, and this will be the second time that Coach on Call provides job readiness, resume writing, communication skills, and life skills to out-of-school, out-of-work youth in Essex County. We're really excited that last year's contract allowed us to work with a growing population of at-risk youth who are coming through the Essex County WIOA program, hungry for services. We had nearly 75% of the youth who enrolled in the GED program at Essex County College, and through the help of the counselors and employers who are seeking our services, we were able to place over 50% of the young adults. And Coach on Call is committed to working with the County of Essex and ensuring that our youth are prepared for the job force. We look at in-demand jobs, we take them out on field trips, and now we have employers, due to the success of the county's job fairs, knocking on doors looking for qualified youth. So it is an honor to work with Essex County WIOA. I'm no stranger to the County of Essex, and Coach on Call is a professional coaching and employment services created to be a resource, and I look forward to working with the county.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're going to have people still come, and then we'll then speak again. Welcome back.
Thank you. JVS is providing low literacy adult basic education under the WIOA grant, and we have a long history. We've been working with the county for well over 20 years, providing adult basic education. We also provide ESL services and support for adults with disabilities to help them find employment. We're providing the low literacy part of adult basic education under this grant. There are far too many adults who test between a 3rd grade and 5.9 grade on the test of adult basic education, which tests reading and math, and that prevents them from getting employment or getting a better job. It prevents them from being able to access county funds to get into post-secondary training programs. And this grant is intended to boost their skills, their reading, writing, and math skills, to help them. Most of these people have a long history of employment, but they're either downsized or lose their jobs for a variety of reasons, and then very often either the lack of a high school diploma or poor reading, writing, and math skills prevent them from moving on to that next job. So that's the service we're providing.
Thank you.
Madam President?
Yes. That's that.
That's that on that section.
Freeholders? Freeholder Toro?
So, do you have a contract for this last one, for Viola Services? Do you have a contract for ESL?
I believe ESL for WIOA is not a high demand. And the reason why we haven't had much success because there are so many other ES programs that labor have established within the community. So as part of the literacy program, we will be dipping into the same population, which meant we wouldn't totally spend our money, and then you guys would be getting on me saying why we're giving money back to labor. So I'm just going to be honest. It wouldn't make sense for us to contract with activity that we have over 6, 7 other kind of agencies doing the same service for the same exact population. You're duplicating services, which meant you wouldn't be allocating the funding in an appropriate way. So that's why we didn't do ESL pretty much.
Okay, because it's my understanding that the state would, employees refer for ESL to places like JDS and stuff like that. But I believe that now they were told to go to WIOA. And however, there's a gap there because there's no contract for ESL. And I know there's not a huge demand, but, you know, I'm of the belief that if someone is unemployed, wants to find employment, wants to better themselves, if these funds are available, an opportunity should be extended to them.
Well, one of the
It's
ways,
just something I want you to.
Freeholder Toro, one of the ways we have what's called the Essex County Literacy Consortium. So when they refer them to WIOA councils refer them through the Literacy Council, which JVS is a part of, and several other vendors. So that's where we are allowed to refer our ESL clients to, because we have funding as a county as the Literacy Consortium, which is made up, I think, of, if I can recall, JVS, the college, some other agencies. So that's where we.
I think that what you're talking about goes off a cycle. If there's only like specific period of times where they
Right.
accept people, and you know, I just think that I know because I had a client that that you know she basically was told we can't help you right now. So I would like just to look more into it, or a better streamlined process so that no one falls through the cracks.
Duly noted.
Thank you for your referral. And since we are in Montclair, I just want to take a quick privilege just to say this is the reason why, Freeholder is the only social worker on this board and understands the system like the back of her hand, because she's done it for so many years and has made her career in it. So you're not being president in January is a great loss to this board, and what you bring to the table is incredibly valuable. And Montclair should be very proud. Okay, back to you, Julius.
Finished.
Okay. All right. Freeholders? Any questions or comments? Okay. All right. So we are going to move and go back to resolution number 7 now.
Yes, Madam President. Department of Economic Development, Training and Employment, Division of Training and Employment, contract award to Meadowland Transportation Brokerage Corporation, doing business as Meadowlands Link, to provide transportation services for Essex County Wave Transportation Program. The contract runs from September 1st, 2017 to December 31st, 2017, amount not to exceed $190,000. And this time period is to coordinate with the state. Michael Vieira is here to explain, unless Julius would like to.
Let Julius do it. He's already up there.
I'm here. Madam President, I do have with me tonight my Deputy Director of Special Transportation, Mike Vieira, who oversees the WAVE program. The WAVE is essentially a workforce access vehicle, which you may have seen. It allows us to move clients throughout the county, through our vendors, throughout our county facilities that we have located in the downtown area. And these are individuals, basically our TANF clients, food stamp GA clients, who board the vehicle and it takes them from point A to point B without relying on New Jersey Transit. Essentially, we have been going for a very, very, very long time, and we have been instructed by our funding source, which is the Department of Human Services, to make some changes. The contract going forward, we will be looking to do direct connect to employers. We have a meeting next week scheduled with our vendor to talk about We have a lot of employees who have second and third shift where it's pretty difficult for clients to get to New Jersey Transit by New Jersey Transit or by train. So we're looking to do is direct connect for these individuals with these employers to say, hey, you hire our clients, we have a program that will get them to that second shift, bring them home from that second shift, take them to that third shift, because that seemed to be the most difficult areas of shift that employers have to fill at this point in time throughout the entire state, especially in our region, second and third shift with the logistics and transportation and warehouse retail here in New Jersey. So pretty much the wave has been around now. I've been with the county 22 years, and the wave has been around about 16 of those 22. I can remember when we started. It's changing, our population is changing, so we have to do something different. But we hope to continue this service. We hope to continue having funds from the Department of Human Service to make this go.
Thank you.
Would you like to hear from the vendor? Because the vendor is
I
also
absolutely do. But Freeholder Seabolt?
I just wanted to add that this is an excellent program, and I'm really grateful that we're able to have such a good program right here in Essex County, because it provides the opportunity for many people to get to a job that they need to get to. And without this transportation, we would have a terrible problem for so many people who could not get to work. And I'd like to thank Michael Vieira for doing such an excellent job working on the transportation for Essex County.
Thank you.
Mr. Palavecchio?
Julius, can I just ask you, sorry, it's not for the vendor, I don't think.
Sure.
You mentioned that the funder was looking for us to make some changes, like Direct Connect. Is that why we're only doing a 4-month contract at this point?
I'm sorry. The reason why we're doing the funding source is going from a fiscal year to a calendar year. So to stay on the time frame, we have to do our contract just to end of December. Then when we get new funding for January through December, we'll do January of 2018 through December 2018, we'll do a 1-year contract.
So will we need to do another bid or RFP between now
No,
and?
we only have to do one RFP, but we'll have to come back to you guys to extend and renew the contract for 1 full year.
All right, thank you.
Good evening, Freeholders. My name is Krishnamurthy, I'm the Executive Director of Meadowlink. And
Pull the mic a little closer.
Sure. Sorry about that. My name is Krishnamurthy. I'm the Executive Director of Meadowlink. We are a nonprofit, and our mission is to implement transportation programs and services to improve the quality of life of people in our area. And WAVE is one of the programs that we operate, and I would like to thank the Freeholders for giving us the opportunity to operate this program here in the county.
Thank you. Freeholders? Mr. McInerney?
I have a question for Julius, if I can. This contract, is this funded completely by grant funds?
Yes, this is completely grant funded. This requires no county match or any county funds.
Which is the transportation program that we have that the county has to?
Job Access Reverse Scheme. That's the one that requires a portion of the county.
All right, thank you.
A question for the vendor. How many years have you been doing this?
We've been doing this for a little over 30 years.
Okay. And I think that it is certainly a need, because many employers probably are not able to hire people who are absolutely, qualified, because maybe they don't have transportation during those shifts. So this is so needed. Thank you for your work.
Thank you.
Freeholders, Mr. McInerney, Mr. Palavecchio, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Now we are going to move.
I think that's it.
Yes. Do you need water?
Does he need water?
He said he's fine. Okay. Mr. Poultry, resolutions 11 through 14.
Yes, Madam President. Number 11, Department of Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Affairs, approval, acceptance of a grant from the New Jersey Historical Commission for the Local History Grant Program in the amount of $23,180. And Josh Zach is here to explain, and he will be explaining 12, 13, and 14.
Good evening, Madam President, Freeholder Board. Joshua Zaid, Essex County Parks. Number 11 is funding for the NJ Historical Commission. 100% of the award is regranted to local history projects and organizations, which is this year. It's going to be an increase in funding in 2018 over 2017, and the applications are currently in the review stage, and once they're awarded in 2018, we'll come back to the board with those awards. Should I go on?
Please.
Number 12, Department of Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Affairs, approval acceptance of a grant award for fiscal year 18 from the state of New Jersey Council on the Arts for local arts program grant in the amount of $124,836.
Go
ahead, Joe.
Through you, Madam President. Very similar to number 11. And number 12 is the same scenario, only with the Council of the Arts.
Resolution 13, 2017, county budget insertion of items of revenue from the state of New Jersey State Council on the Arts for FY18, general program support, Department of Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Affairs, in the amount of $14,754.
And this will be for the 2018 Summer Concert Series.
And number 14, Department of Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Affairs, contract awarded to the lowest responsible bidder to provide landscape maintenance for various parks from October 2nd, 2017 to October 1st, 2019, amount not to exceed $769,550. There were two divisions within the county. Group 1 was won by Shulger Group, which is a WBE, Brookdale Park, Glenfield Park, Presby, Anderson, and Yanakawa, and section, or Group 2 was won by D'Onofrio, WB, and SB, Monte Irvin Park, Veterans Park, Weequahic Park, and Wassessing. Both vendors are here. Josh.
Sure. Just to reiterate what Mr. Coulter was saying, this is for landscape maintenance services, which includes grass cutting, leaf renewal, flower bed maintenance, and planting. And Shulger and D'Onofrio, both organizations, have reps here.
Okay, please come forward, vendors.
Good evening. I am D'Onofrio, the owner of D'Onofrio and Son Landscaping. We will be providing the landscaping, I guess it's Part B, correct? Part
Yes.
2 of
Group 2.
For our group of landscaping that we'll be doing is the full maintenance that is required according to the contract, mulching, leaf removal. There was a big increase due to the fact that we'll be taking over all the dumping and providing all the mulch that the county used to do in the past.
Thank you.
Madam President, in the future, through the Office of Purchasing, and if you notice, we are separating the zones. This will give more opportunity to comply with the set-aside program and various other programs, so we can have everyone participate.
That's great. And what are we, about halfway there as far as the...
We're working on it every day. We met today on the program to tweak it and get it going as soon as possible.
That's fantastic. Thank you. Okay, the third.
Good evening, Madam President.
Good evening.
To the freeholders, my name is Clarence Nathaniel Skyers III, project manager at the Shulger Group, Shulger Property Services. We've had the opportunity to provide landscaping services for the county at multiple sites. I think one of the last freeholders meetings I had just attended when we were also doing landscaping services on a different contract. We've done work at all these locations in prior contracts, and we're happy to provide those services for you for this duration. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Are there any questions and comments? Mr. Palavecchio?
No questions.
Mr. McInerney? Freeholders, questions or comments, 11 through 14? Thank you. And Josh and the vendors. It's good to see. Is that a woman-owned business? Is that what you were saying?
Yes, both of them are, Madam President.
Okay, great. Yes, both of them are, and we appreciate that. Also, I know that Shulger gives back to the community. I appreciate seeing the rehab of Integrity House? Apostle House.
Right.
Thank you. That's beautiful, so. All right. We're gonna list 11 through 14 for action later this evening. Please move to resolutions 15 through 19, Mr. Colchi.
Thank you, Madam President. Number 15, Department of Public Works contract award to the 24 respondents and the responsible bidders to provide hill screening, snow plowing, hauling service from October 1st, 2017 to September 30th, 2020, aggregate amount not to exceed $10 million. Both 15 and 16, when we went out to bid, we did not get enough vendors. For 15, we had to go out for a supplemental bill, which is 16, which is the Department of Public Works Division of Roads and Bridges contract award to 4 responsible bidders to provide screening and snow plowing, hauling service supplemental, October 1st, 2017 to September 30th, 2020, aggregate amount not to exceed $10 million, which is combined with the resolution number 15, and Dave Antonio is here to explain 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19.
Okay. Yes, I'm waiting for Dave.
He was sleeping in the back.
I understand why. I certainly understand why.
I apologize.
Yeah, it's all right.
David Antonio, Department of Public Works. These 2 items provide the department the very important resources that we use during the winter. As we open up our roads after snowstorms. As you know, some winters are drier than others, so winters are harsher than others. And we like to have at our disposal as many possible vendors, and therefore as many possible salt trucks, snow plows, and haulers. We do not want to be in a position where we cannot contractually go out there and get the tools that we need to open up the roads to restore safe passage for county residents. Over the same 3-year period of the last contract, I believe we spent $5.1 million. So $10 million to provide us ample cushion to accommodate any possible scenario in the future.
Thank you. Freeholder Siebold?
How do you determine which contractor will do a specific road? How does that all work out?
We have a snow command center, and we sit there, and most contractors already have routes that they're comfortable with.
They already have routes
They have
that are
pretty
assigned
much
to
their
them?
own designated areas. Depending on the anticipated amount of snow that we're gonna get, we dictate how many trucks we need of each kind, and what routes you do first, what routes you do last. It all depends on hills, no hills, flats, weather patterns, things of that sort. At the end of the day, it comes down to a lot of the guys that make these determinations, the guys in Snow Command. It's scientific, but at the end of the day, it's just old-fashioned, just knowing how to fight snow. I can't tell you how they do it, but they always get it right.
But each contractor
Oh, yeah,
has a
definitely.
specific area.
Yeah.
But
And it's
they
in this,
know
and they
ahead
have
of
their own,
time
that's right, and they have
that
their
they're
own,
responsible
and they have their
for.
own inspectors to follow them and make sure they're accountable.
And size of truck and all of
That's
that
right.
comes into play versus size of street.
Right, so we know exactly how many trucks and where they are. We know when they started, we know when they go home. We know that we're not being cheated. There's visually somebody watching them.
So if the snow is not particularly bad in a certain spot, the contractor is not called to go there.
Correct.
Only where they're needed. Do you ever need them to go to another place because it's bad?
Yeah,
And use them more?
Yes, we do.
You do?
We usually encourage the inspectors, who are our eyes and ears in the field, to communicate with each other. And it's quite often, snowstorms are not very easy to predict sometimes. And sure, sometimes snowstorms occur and inspectors land another inspector crews, so he can get the road opened.
Very good, thank you very much.
Freeholders? Mr. McInerney? Mr. Okay.
Quick question.
One second, Mr. McInerney? Mr. Polavecchio? Freeholder Vice President, go.
Just a question regarding the snow removal, the street snow removal in this contract. Does this also cover, and maybe this is a question for Parks and not Public Works, but does this also include pathways that are used as egress and ingress onto county roads that are connected to county parks? And pathways, sidewalks, other pathways?
We have cleared up connections to county roads.
Right.
With this contract.
Right.
But at least Josh can speak about separate contracts from the Parks Department for within the parks.
Okay.
Joshua Zates, Essex County Parks. It's my understanding this contract does not include any park pathways. We are looking to bid that out. Currently, we do that in-house. The main priority is any pathways that would lead, or I should say, the nearest school. Those always come first, and then we work our way outwards depending on where the location is.
So through you, Madam President, I'm just gonna make a quick parochial comment since we're in Montclair. This happens every time we have a major storm, but in particular the sidewalk and the paths connected to Glenfield Park have notoriously been an issue. So we could just note it in terms of the school buses queue up on Maple Avenue, and there seems to every year be kind of one of these about who has a responsibility to clear that particular pathway in front of the park. So if we could just assume that responsibility, and when we're bidding out this pathway contract, that would be great.
Through you, Madam Chair, certainly I will let the Parks Director know.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we have vendors? Do we have vendors here?
There are no vendors here.
Freeholder Luciano.
Thank you, Madam President. Just to address to you gentlemen, I haven't seen it in a couple of years, but I do want to put it on the record. I know this is quite a large contract, and we use a whole host of different of bidders that, 24 to be exact, is that it? So a couple of years ago, I know I was following some of the plow trucks on a county road. The vendor I will not mention, but I do know they had farm license plates, and now I just know that that's not something I don't think our insurance covers. So I don't know what equipment we require, but if that's something maybe you could just take into consideration when we look through these vendors, if there's anyone new there. Sure, we love their services, and we don't really have much say as to what trucks or vehicles they use, but if they're using farm license plates, I would say that's something we should flag and not something we should continue to practice.
I agree. We'll definitely keep an eye out for that.
Please do. Thank you.
And out-of-state plates.
Yeah, that too. Out-of-state plate. Again, because I don't know what we actually write in this contract. So, you might have big companies that have trucks in Pennsylvania, and when they need them in New Jersey, and like I said, a couple of years ago, I was following a whole group, and they were doing a great job. In fact, it wasn't a company we want to get rid of, but I'm just saying, you tear up somebody's, property, and next thing they know, the county hired someone who's using a company that's got plates that aren't legal to be on the road, unless it's farm business, and I don't think snow plowing is farm business. Just wanted to note that, Madam President. Thank you.
Yep. Mr. McInerney.
Just more of a comment. This is a large sum of money, $10 million, but really look at this more, not so much as a contract, but as an authorization to spend up to that amount. Typically, if we don't have snow, we won't have to spend that amount of money.
Yeah, we had a pretty good
It's
winter.
really an authorization as opposed to, amount of money that's definitely going to be expended, as they said. The last contract for 3 years was just around $5 million.
The last contract in 3 years?
In 3 years was 5.1? Yes.
What was it in 2014? Does anybody know?
I don't have that answer, Madam President.
That was I feel like that was the most snow I remember in a winter. You said Josh might know? Josh, no. Why did Madam Clerk put you on the spot like that, right? Sure, Mr. McInerney.
We have also a dedicated fund set aside for snow removal. Can you tell me what's in there now? Do you know how much money we have in that fund? If you don't know now, could you just get it to us?
We'll get back to you, Madam President, through you. We'll be glad to give you that information.
Thank you. Okay, freeholders? All right. Mr. Coultry?
Resolution 17, Department of Public Works, Division of Engineering, resolution consenting to the Township of West Orange, ordinance 2514-17, Main Street Mid-Block Crossway, which is installing a crossway on Main Street by the Dunkin' Donuts for easy access and safe crossing. Mr. D'Antonio is here to explain. Mr. D'Antonio, please stay with us.
David Antonio, Department of Public Works. The Department of Engineering in the Township of West Orange has identified pedestrian safety improvement that could be quickly implemented. And the item before us tonight is to consent to the ordinance to create that mid-block crossing.
Thank you. Mr. McInerney? Mr. Paul Vecchio?
No.
Freeholders? Okay.
Madam President,
Mr.
number
Bolster?
18, we're going back to Department of Public Works, Division of Engineering, contract change order number 1 with Colinelli Brothers, Inc. for replacement of existing floors around the rink number 1 at Cody Arena, adding an amount of $168,000, $488.25 to the original construction contract of $2,676,567. This was discovered when they were doing the construction that the floor needed to be replaced, which is only the cumulative, the amount of $168,000 is 6.29% of the addition to the original contract. And Mr. D'Antonio is here to explain if he would like to.
You need some water as well.
David Antonio, Department of Public Works. During the installation of the new refrigeration system for Rink 1 at the arena, during construction, it was identified that the existing flooring had to be replaced with a thicker flooring in order to meet elevation requirements and eliminate tripping hazards around the rink. Hence why the item is here tonight, because it must be addressed during construction.
Mr. Paul Vecchio?
Mr. Antonio, this is, as the name would indicate, change order number 1. There haven't been any other change orders on
That
this
is correct.
contract, correct?
It's the first one.
Okay. Mr. McInerney? Freeholders? All right.
Resolution 19, Department of Public Works, Division of Engineering, resolution of the County of Essex, New Jersey, determining to adopt the Energy Saving Improvement Program. Authorize a development agreement not to exceed $112,569, delegating the execution of the project development agreement to the County of Essex. In 2009, the state enacted the Energy Saving Improvement Program as an alternate for local government to finance implementation of any energy conservation methods. The county participates in a local government energy audit program since January 2015. County also utilizes the competitive contract process to select Honeywell International to develop a countywide energy saving plan, and Honeywell is here tonight. Also, once we complete the plan, we do not have to pay for the $112,000. It is then granted for free.
By the state?
Yes. And Mr. D'Antonio is here as well as Honeywell.
Okay.
David Antonio, Department of Public Works. This program is very unique in the state of New Jersey because it allows local government agencies such as the County of Essex to construct energy-saving projects at no cost because the cost is forlayed through the savings in energy reduction. Since the last time we came to this board, we selected Honeywell International to be the ESCO for the county. Since that time, Honeywell has completed an energy savings plan. The energy savings plan has been evaluated and approved by a third-party engineering firm, and has also been approved by the Board of Public Utilities. the energy savings plan has 20 possible projects. The county can select one or can select all 20 of those projects. All those projects are guaranteed to be a zero net effect on our budget because there'll be no money coming out of the county's pocket. Tonight, we were asking to approve the savings plan and also to authorize the county to enter into the project development agreement. The folks at Honeywell have been working with the county now for, I would say, 5 years for free. And moving forward, they're going to be outlaying additional cost. There is a break fee included. That break fee is only there if the county chooses to back out of constructing any of the improvements. But if we select to go forward with even one of the 20, there is no break fee. I have Mr. Joe Kasha from Honeywell International to talk about the final points of the plan and the program, like the guaranteed savings, the guaranteed no change orders, and the guaranteed cost of the project.
Good evening. Joe Kasha, Honeywell International. Essentially, David's done a real good job of explaining the program. What makes Honeywell unique in this solution is that we are obligated under the ESIT program to publicly bid all of the subcontractors of the projects that you select. However, Honeywell offers those programs with a guarantee no change order associated with any of the projects themselves. The break fee itself is really for Honeywell to sit down with your county engineering team, identify which projects you'd like to implement, put a final guaranteed cost on those projects themselves, and implement them, and paying for them out of existing monies that you're already spending with, let's say, PSE&G or JCP&L. So the program is guaranteed to be self-funding, and it does, and Honeywell does guarantee no change orders associated with it.
Thank you. Mr. McInerney.
What's the relationship between Honeywell and the County of Essex? Right? Is it under contract?
At this point in time?
Yeah.
At this point in time, Honeywell was selected by the county via competitive contracting process. And so there's no, as part of Honeywell's commitment to develop the energy savings plan, Honeywell's done that at our own expense.
2015, I believe that was.
That's correct.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
Okay. Mr. Polavecchio?
No questions.
Freeholders? Freeholder Vice President Gill?
Thank you, Madam President. Just more of a comment. I think it's a great opportunity for the county.
Thank you.
And really looking forward to see, what we get back from you in terms of the projects and recommendations. So I think this has been a long-term investment, from the county, and again, is an example of where we're trying to be ahead of the curve in terms of how we think about energy use, and cost savings for our constituents.
Thank you.
Yeah. Freeholders? Thank you. I know this is in line with the resolution that we passed, committed to making sure that we are decreasing our carbon footprint and being more sensitive to the environment. And we did that in, I believe, 2015. And that's around when I remember also you all coming in to evaluate what needed
Correct.
to be done in the county to help save on energy and other things. So thank you so much. You have a team with you?
I do.
Do you want to just introduce them?
Sure.
Unless you just came to hear me talk. People do that. No, I'm just joking.
So with me is my partner, Peter Rarig. Peter has helped us develop the overall solution. Dan Madden is the district sales leader for the Mid-Atlantic region for Honeywell. And Paul Peters is actually the brains behind the solutions. He's our lead engineer in the development of the actual energy projects, or what we call ECMs, or energy conservation measures themselves. He was here in case you had any real technical questions.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your consideration. We truly appreciate it.
All right. Freeholders, are there any questions or comments regarding resolutions 20 through 30. Accommodations. Okay, hearing none. We're going to move back up to the agenda. Madam Clerk, were there any transcripts to be approved?
Madam President, there are none.
Were there any topics of discussion?
Madam President, there are none.
Okay. I'm going to call a collective vote of resolutions 1 through 30, as 31 and 32 were already voted upon. Is there any need to extract any resolution or accommodation from a collective vote? And resolution 3 has been withdrawn. Freeholder Richardson?
Yeah, 14.
14. Okay. So when you call your vote, just say, abstain from 14, against everything else. Freeholders? Any others? Okay. So I'm going to just do one vote this time. All right. Is there a mover and a second to take resolutions 1 through 30?
I'll move it.
Moved by Freeholder Siebold. Is there a second? Second by Freeholder Jones. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Freeholder Bobadilla, absent. Freeholder Vice President Gill.
Yes.
Freeholder Johnson, absent. Freeholder Jones.
Yes.
Freeholder Luciano.
Yes.
Freeholder Richardson.
Yes on all except 14. 14, I'm present, not voting.
Freeholder Siebold.
Yes.
Freeholder Toro.
Yes.
Freeholder President Timberlake.
Yes.
So moved.
Thank you. All right. Are there any report of board committees? Any legislative reports? Any written communication? Any unfinished business? Any new business to discuss? Okay, we're going to move to public comment session. Are there any members of the public wishing to comment on any issue at all? Please come forward, state your name and affiliation for the record.
Hi, my name is Troy Knight Napper. I'm a resident of Bloomfield. I'm also a candidate running for Senate. I only have one question, and that's for what's Essex County's idea for moving towards a cleaner energy initiative, preferably somewhere around 2035. Is there anything or a plan for that?
So we respond in writing to questions, and what I'll do is I'll have all resolutions regarding that sent to you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay? Thank you. And Medina's going to take your information. That way we can get it to you. Are there any other members of the public wishing to comment?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Courtney Williams, President of the Weequahic Park Parents Authority, Norfolk County. I was here last meeting just to see if you guys had any plans for the playground located on Elizabeth Avenue, because I had some, concerns with the safety of some of the equipment. So I didn't receive a response, but
You said you did not?
no.
Okay.
So I just basically majority of these pictures were taken today, and I had them printed out. One major concern is a bridge on the playground where there's a plank missing and several of them are loose. But can I pass them? the
You
pictures?
absolutely can. Medina will take them for you.
So there's a plank missing, which you'll see in the pictures. Someone put caution tape so you wouldn't go on the bridge, but the caution tape is not there, just the ties that were tied to the metal. When I was there one day recording, a little girl's foot went through the bridge and she fell. There's several other plastic equipment, because I've done my research and the playground hasn't been touched in 11 years. So there's a plastic thing for small children to play with, but I stuck my whole hand through it, and like it can get stuck in there. So I just basically have some concerns with the safety of some of the equipment in the park. I know we just had someone speak about they're going to be doing landscaping. So I'm going to reach out to her to see if that includes the trail as well, because I use the trail like 4 times a week, hundreds of people, and the trees are attacking us now, just trying to walk through there. So that's basically all I have. And I want to thank you guys for the park and everything that you've done in the park. It's great. It's miraculous. Everyone loves it and appreciates it, and the parents look forward to anything else that you have to offer. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam President, through you, Ms. Williams came here and response was that this park will be considered in our...
Ms. Williams, hold on one second. Ms. Mohammed. Ms. Williams, can you come back forward? Because Mr. Poultry is actually answering your question on the spot. Did you send, the response was sent?
Yes, it was. I have
She just
it.
said 2 days ago. So.
Oh, okay.
So I'll check.
But this project will be considered for our next capital project through the administration, and I will follow up with our building and grounds and the Parks Department to make sure that that area is safe.
Thank you very much.
And well, thank you for your advocacy. It's important.
Absolutely.
I have the same request out for Watusi as well. Are there any other members of the public wishing to comment on any issue at all? Okay. For Mr. Shea.
Good evening. Good evening, Madam President, and thank you for giving us this opportunity to speak. I just wanted to thank you and this board for recognizing a Newark resident today who I know her mother, and she's just another committed Newark parent. So I thank you personally and for the board exercising their civic leadership and recognizing that young lady on her art. So that is amazing. Just wanted to kind of touch on something that happened to me as a citizen earlier this week. I took a trip to D.C. A mentor of mine from a suburban town that's local here to Montclair said, you know, Shay, you have a day off from work, come on down to D.C. There's some stuff going on with respect to criminal justice reform that very, very moderate Republicans are encouraging, which involves decriminalization of certain things that have criminalized a lot of folks in Newark, East Orange, Irvington, and urban Essex, and ultimately grown the population at our county prison. So with 8 years of Barack Obama, I'm hoping that the citizens in our county that have supported Obama in the past will just open our eyes to what's going on here in New Jersey, and that if Congress does act and begin to decriminalize, and maybe we have parties begin to meet with each other or congressmen start to work with each other, I won't be a New Jersey resident at a congressional event and our congressional delegation doesn't even come after I've reached out to them. At least this board is accessible. I respect the fact that you all hold your positions with dignity, but that's something that we have to work on, speaking to other people that are on the other side of the aisle with respect to decriminalization and how that affects criminal justice and prison populations. I only brought that up because I thought of my friends that are my suburban friends in Essex, as well as my urban friends when I was at the event, and we need to begin to look at that. The other thing I wanted to touch on is the energy savings proposal that came before your body today. I think is the closest thing that I've seen to something moderate, at least in the last 90 days, where we could begin to have some fiscal sanity in bringing that back to Essex. And if we can, only through you, Madam Chairman, I'm speaking, any one of your colleagues that might have an affiliation with the Newark Public School would be more than open to working with Honeywell, maybe even Irvington and East Orange. I know that those folks down there really would like to partner with the county in ways that are unique, that we might have not considered in the past. And regardless of who's president, Essex County must, we have to save it and maintain it as strong as you all are doing, and use all the skills in Essex to essentially grow Essex. That's what we want to assist you in doing here in Newark. And we're glad that the Montclair community allowed your distinguished board to host this meeting here today.
Thank you.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you. Are there any other members of the public wishing to comment? Okay. Hearing none. Closing public comment session, opening up freeholder comment session. Freeholders? All right, motion to.
Madam President.
Oh, I'm sorry, Frio Luciano.
Just wanted to put on record today, especially being that we're in Montclair, unfortunately, we had a passing away of Vincent Gattuso. I don't know if many of you know who Vincent is, but his stage name and acting name is Frank Vincent. He was born in Massachusetts, although he lived much of his life in Essex County. He died today during open heart surgery. I wanted to note that Vincent was in many movies that we know: Raging Bull, Goodfellas, Casino. He won several awards in the HBO hit series Sopranos. And I just thought it would be noteworthy to mention that he unfortunately passed away during surgery today. And his wake is going to be held right here in Montclair on Saturday from 2:30 to 6:30 at Caggiano Memorial Home on Grove Street. So again, I know that Essex County has, a lot of movie stars, movie actresses, famous people, athletes, everything that come through here. Unfortunately, to see the passing of Frank Vincent today just is disheartening. But I know that we all will memorialize him, and I'm sure he'll have a great showing here in Montclair on Saturday for all the people that he pleasured with his talents. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Freeholder Luciano, and condolences to his family and loved ones. Freeholders? Okay, hearing none. Motion to adjourn?
Move.